Welcome, climate viewers. This is Jim Lee from Climate Viewer News at climateviewer.com. Geoengineering with them contrails. I know this may blow your mind. This may seem completely out of line. Like, what the hell is Jim on one? No, this is not a new thing. This is not something that I've just came up with out of the blue. And there's big breaking news in the last 2 days on this. One of the largest contrail avoidance geoengineering experiments is about to start. And it's time for everybody here to start taking these contrails seriously. Now, way back in the very first article that I wrote on Climate Viewer Report, you'll see that, wrong button here. You'll see that this is my first article, Geoengineering with Contrails, February 11th, 2024. And I've been pretty consistent on this. Very shortly after this February article, the start of my Substack at climateviewer.news, I wrote this one about the contrail geoengineering, the chemtrail conspiracy, real deal. And in it, we talk about contrails.org. Bill Gates has a company called Breakthrough Energy, and the chief scientist of this company is Ken Caldera, geoengineer. Coincidence? I don't think so. Now, when you look at what's actually been going on, what the plan is, and what they're talking about less soot emissions, less warming, more cooling contrails, predictable for operational planning. This is Ulrich Schumann in 2010. He created the contrail cirrus simulation and prediction tool so that they can predict when these planes are going to make these clouds and whether the clouds trap heat or not. Why? Because after September 11th, when all the flights were grounded, that was the aha moment. These clouds aren't just geoengineering, cooling the planet. They're actually heating it up. They trap heat. How much? Your guess is as good as mine, as good as any post-hole digger out there. No PhD, no AI on the planet has been able to quantify correctly how much heat is being trapped. That's why you're not going to trap me in that argument. Regardless, the climate cult believes that cirrus clouds created by planes are trapping heat, so it's climate change. And we got to do something about that. What do? They go naming something as stupid as Operation Blue Skies. I mean, if I'm being real with you, this sounds like something that we would come up with because we want our blue skies back. These people have no intention on making blue skies. Their sole intention is to quantify how much heating is happening from contrails that spread out to create cirrus clouds, contrail-induced cirrus clouds, and then avoid making the warming ones and leave the cooling ones. Problem: if you do that, then we're going to end up with more clouds every single year. Why? Because that's what they said so. When I interviewed Dr. Rangasai Halthori, he was the head of the then Aviation Climate Change Research Initiative in 2017. I asked him, what did Ulrich Schumann mean by that? He said, well, contrails during the day cause cooling because they reflect sunlight into space. During the night, they trap infrared heat, causing heating. So it is the balance between the two intervals. We would like to have more contrail-induced cirrus clouds during the day and none during the night. You see, now that's where we have a problem. There's that word more again. We want more clouds by day and none by night. What did Ulrich Schumann say? He said we want less emissions, less warming, and more cooling contrails. What does Bill Gates say? We want more cooling contrails. This is what they actually look like. This is on map.contrails.org, showing whether or not they are warming or cooling. The target area right here where it shows all the orange, these are warming contrails. According to their maths, according to their climate models, their satellites, these are the chemtrails that are trapping the heat, but they want blue ones. Let's see if any blue ones appear. I'm just going to run this animation real quickly. These are all the chemtrails. Oh, they start to turn blue here. It's becoming daytime. They're going from blue to red, but there's still orange in there, and we're in the middle of the freaking day. The vast majority of these are still heat trapping contrails. So what the heck are they even talking about here? That's the real question. What the heck are they even really talking about here? Well, what they're really talking about here is, give me 1 second. Let me turn that off so it doesn't deactivate my damn camera again, because that's getting annoying. Settings change all the time on this, open broadcaster. You never can predict any of this stuff. So let's just backtrack to see how we got to here and what the plans are for this Operation Blue Skies. Who's behind it, what they're planning on doing, because this matters. So for those that don't know, we, put out an EPA petition. This petition has already been submitted to the EPA, and in it, we specifically asked for, and this is the head of the petition, sent by Renette Cinnamon and myself, along with Leslie Manukian, Michael Hogan, Leah Wilson, Valerie Ferrell, and Sayer G. This has been submitted to the EPA, and in it, we specifically talk about this has happened already. That in 2023, Google Research partnered with American Airlines and Breakthrough Energy, the company that made, the Bill Gates company that made contrails.org, to test AI-based contrail forecast maps on 70 flights, achieving a verified 54% reduction in contrail formation, the first proof point of commercial flights can verifiably avoid contrails at negligible cost. In a scaled follow-on trial, 2,400 transatlantic flights between January and May 2025, they integrated into American Airlines flight planning software, producing a 62% reduction in contrail formation rate. So, summary, it works. Here it is, published on Google's blog.google. How AI is helping airlines mitigate the climate impact of contrails. Oh, they're so good. The problem is, guys, they don't give a damn that you're mad about blue skies. They don't give a damn that planes are making stripes in the sky and blocking out the sun. They only give a damn when it comes to my climate change, my global warming, my runaway global warming, my global boiling. That's when they care. And then they're going to masquerade this with a title like Operation Blue Skies. This is geoengineering. Let me be blunt. If your goal is not to get rid of planes making clouds, which you can do, which is what we're demanding in our EPA petition, and your stated goal is to just get rid of the warming ones, while planes are going to continue to increase in flights are expected to double between now and 2050. Summary, in the next 20 years, there will be twice, if not thrice, as many clouds in the sky. There will be less blue skies, and they will only be cooling the planet because my global warming, because geoengineering. But they call this climate mitigation. They say you're the crazy one if you even point at it, if you talk about it, and dare you say that it's climate engineering or geoengineering. Oh, but wait, most of the people, the talking heads, the BS artists that are out there are telling you it is climate engineering, it is geoengineering, but it's not contrails. You know, at some point, cooler heads, smarter heads, logical people will come to the conclusion that I'm freaking right. I'm always right. I'm like not right 99.9% of the time. Right here it says not an expert. I'm being humble. I'm trying to inject some comedy into this to make it educational and still not fear porn. I mean, and that's what it is. People are selling you fear. That is pure evil. I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you the receipts. You can do your own research. You can test all this. This is important. So what are they actually planning? What are they doing? They want to make this go away. They want to make the orange go away, but they want to keep the blue. Capiche? And you can see over here, more orange, nighttime, stripes across here. Now, we all know that they're way more than this, which is why if you actually look at our petition, you'll see that, and I believe it's right here. Where did I have it? Current satellite-based, this is from the petition. Trust me, I scienced my ass off. There's 170 citations in this thing. Current satellite-based ice supersaturated region prediction carries a 50 to 80% error rate compared to in-situ measurements, rendering voluntary avoidance protocols without onboard sensing operationally unreliable. Translation: they cannot see 50 to 80% of the contrails that are turning into cirrus clouds that we see. They cannot see them from satellites. Period. We do not have the sensors necessary to even see them. So when they're coming up with these models and they're saying that they're going to do these things, they're not even seeing somewhere between 50 to 80% of the clouds that we're seeing from the ground. We all have our cameras out. We're all complaining about it. They act like not a big deal. We looked at our satellites. It's not that big a problem. It's just these ones that are heating up the planet that are the problem. So they map it out. They make a plan. This map is actually based on Ulrich Schumann's contrail cirrus prediction tool. It's actually in their GitHub. You can go and actually download it. I mean, I'm a programmer. Everybody knows that. So I went to their GitHub repo. I was not surprised in the slightest to find out that Google AI based their entire contrail prediction model on Ulrich Schumann's contrail cirrus prediction tool, which is right here and which was created back in 2010 and has been revised and revised and revised. But regardless, this is what's going on. So Operation Blue Sky's contrail avoidance at airspace scale. Now, it's true that they've done multiple different tests on this. For those who don't understand what contrail avoidance is, it's very similar to, in fact, I could show you a little infographica from, if you go to my Substack, you'll see this here. That these are ice supersaturated regions. These are where the chemtrails stick around. You have to know these numbers for this to work. So they have to predict where these are going to occur, for starters. And they look like this. Where's my infographics? Right here. So they look like this here. Well, it was bigger there. And you have to know basically the temperature, the relative humidity, the relative humidity with respect to water, and relative humidity with respect to ice. So ice supersaturation happens at 100% RHI. That is your chemtrail region. That's when contrails turn into cirrus clouds and stick around. Anything else, it's not going to work. So basically they're looking for planes that are in this region that are going to make thick cirrus clouds. High, thin cirrus clouds don't trap outgoing long wave radiation. I think I have an infographic for that in here too as well. I made this back in the day, probably about 2017, that you have solar radiation management, which most people are pretty, they know this term. This is geoengineering's SRM, usually with SAI, stratospheric aerosol injection. The idea is that it reflects incoming solar radiation. This is shortwave radiation. So shortwave climate engineering is reflecting that back to space. So the heat doesn't make it down to the ground. But inevitably, the sun's rays make it through the clouds and they get down here. But then there's this other term that most people have not heard of called Earth radiation management. This is ERM. This is the idea of cirrus cloud thinning, CCT. This is a technology that most people don't even know exists, that they're researching. CCT. Why would they be introducing CCT? Because they want a cirrus cloud climate dial. They want to be able to control the temperature of the planet with the clouds that are made by the planes. And how do they do that? This can be achieved if cirrus cloud seeding is limited to high latitude winters or nighttime seeding. What are their plans here? So for Operation Blue Skies, they plan on doing this in the winter months. Is that a coincidence? I don't think it's a coincidence. Guys, it's not a coincidence. Contrail warming is most significant during the winter months. In the North Atlantic, roughly November to February, Operation Blue Skies will run for 30 months, targeting 2 4-month trial windows during these winter months, 2026 through 2027 and 2027 through 2028. So this winter, they're going to be up there with their artificial intelligence, trying to do contrail avoidance to see if they can get rid of the warming contrails while leaving the cooling ones. This can be achieved several different ways. I showed you in a little infographic. You just avoid the ice supersaturated regions. Interestingly enough, at this latitude, where this is occurring, the typical tropopause height is around 38,000 feet. It can be even lower. So all they really have to do is fly up into the stratosphere. The stratosphere is very low at that latitude, especially during the winter. So any plane that flies up into the stratosphere won't make a cloud at all. But guess what it will do? It will inject all of its chemicals into the stratosphere. That is stratospheric aerosol injection by jet emissions. Another version of geoengineering. So long story short, this first hit my inbox at about 5 a.m. Yesterday. And I woke up to it, and the consortium, who's all involved in this, contrails.org, which is Breakthrough Energy, which is Bill Gates and Ken Caldera. Of course, Ken says, I helped set it up. I really don't have anything to do with it now, but whatever. Once a geoengineer touches a thing and Bill Gates touches it, you kind of got to go with it, right? Google. The same people who were involved in, yep, that one right there, the Googles. So they're involved. Google UK will develop models to predict and avoid warming contrails using machine learning and satellite image to track and verify impact. Contrails.org, Breakthrough Energy, will lead forecast assessment and integration, design trial parameters, and support data analysis. NATS, which is the UK's leading air navigation service provider, will trial airspace operations, coordinate air traffic control, conduct safety assessment and air traffic controller training. The UK Met Office will develop a new UK contrail forecast capability and ensure meteorological accuracy throughout the trial. The Imperial College of London and the University of Cambridge will basically go and validate all of the information after the fact. They get to write all the papers afterwards. They get to take all the data that they get and then go and do something with it. I love your comment there, Eric. Eric, so is this to point out that the so-called conspiracy theorists have been correct all along? I've been saying this literally since 2013. Like, this is the part that gets lost on people. They're like, he's Jim Lee, the jet fuel guy. He's saying that chemtrails aren't real. No, I'm saying that planes make clouds. Here's how they make them. They are a problem. People want to geoengineer with them. This is them actually geoengineering with them. I'm showing you how. When are you going to quit believing the BS artists out there and patronizing them, people who literally are just grifting off of you and not telling you the true story of what's going on. Because the truth is a little more complicated than the fiction, the fairy tales of the pumps and pipes with the sprays and all this stuff. None of that makes sense. That's why it's been ridiculed for 30 freaking years. That's right. The chemtrail conspiracy has been around for 30 years. The true part is they were kind of right. Because guess what? Back when the chemtrail conspiracy started in 1996 with William Thomas and, Richard Fink and all these, they all called them contrails. Hell, even Dane Wigington, when he started in 2007, he called them contrails. You can't make this stuff up. I wish it were, weren't the case, but I'll show you. I'll show you right now. Perfect. Since you brought it up and since we're here, I'm going to show it. I was going to wrap up right now, but why the hell not? I'll give you a little taste of things to come on chemtrailfacts.com. How about that? Here you go. You asked for it. So, William Thomas, contrails, poison from the sky. Oh, by the way, Peter Kirby based most of his book off of William Thomas's work. William Thomas appeared on Coast to Coast AM in 1999. This article is from 1999. And they were talking about how JP8 jet fuel was filled with ethylene dibromide, and it was contrails from JP8 and were poisoned with EDB and were getting crop dusted. This was the original chemtrail conspiracy theory. And this is the guy who pretty much made it popular worldwide by going on Coast to Coast AM in 99, 2000, 2001. If you don't believe me, when you see this right here, these are all, it's behind my head. I'll get out of the way. These right here, download. These are all of the Coast to Coast AM episodes that he was on. All of these will be available on chemtrailfacts.com. You can listen to it for yourself. You can listen to this dude, William Thomas, who said from the beginning, he made up the freaking chemtrail conspiracy. Pretty much, he's the one that made it popular. You don't believe me? Let's go to everybody else's favorite fun guy. This is Dane Wigington. Diminished solar charge capacities due to persistent jet contrails by Dane Wigington, Shasta County, California, August 11th, 2007. So, I'm the crazy one for talking about contrails, but the entire chemtrail conspiracy started calling them contrails, eventually moved to calling them chemtrails, eventually moved to an entire grifting industry. Yes, originally with Art Bell. That is the Coast to Coast with Art Bell that has William Thomas on it. I could play some of it right now. I don't know if I get copyright claimed, if I put it in this video. But if you guys don't believe me, I'll bring it up. I'll bring that up too. This folder, just this folder alone, that's going to be on chemtrailfacts.com, literally has, all right, this is January 25th right here. Download. This is the Art Bell Archive, January 25th, 1999. Chemtrails, HAARP, and other topics with William Thomas. This is the level of research that I do, nobody else do. Okay? I'm in a league of my own. I don't know if you know this, but if you didn't know, I definitely want you to know that, as some people would say, I'm kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. So, all of this is true. Just so you know. Oh, what's up, Renette? So all of this is coming out, and all of this is in our petition. Not all the stuff about, the people that made up all this stuff along the way. But the point I'm trying to make is this. If you look at what they're doing here, if you just look and you look at the facts, Who's involved? Operation Blue Sky is co-funded by its industry partners and the Department for Transportation through the ATI program, a partnership between Aerospace Technology Institute, the Department of Business, Innovation, Science and Trade, and Innovate UK. Trial benefits, geoengineering. Don't believe it's a big deal. How about, New York Times, UK to test whether tweaks to transatlantic flight paths affect global warming. Hundreds of aircraft traversing the North Atlantic will be asked to adjust their altitude in an effort to reduce heat trapping contrails. That's right. More cooling contrails, less warming contrails. That is geoengineering. Case in point, planes flying, this new scientist, planes flying over Atlantic will be rerouted to avoid contrails. Operation Blue Skies is the world's first trial. Not really. It's the world's first large-scale trial. There have been, I'm going to say like 12 major contrail avoidance. I could make a list. World's first trial to deploy contrail avoidance measures across an entire airspace. Fair enough. Across an entire airspace, aiming to lower the climate impact of flights on a large scale. Because climate impact matters. We're going to call it Operation Blue Freaking Skies. Operation Blue Freaking Skies. But we really don't want blue skies. We just want cool skies. We want cooling skies. I don't know about you, but this pisses me off. It should piss you off too. Great point. Are we headed back to a Maunder minimum event at the end of solar cycle 25? People have, I think they've really overplayed the grand solar minimum. Realistically, we're not going to reach Maunder minimum levels. Could it get cooler? 1, maybe 2 degrees Celsius. If just like all of the prediction models go wrong. But right now, solar cycle 26 through 27, we're talking 2032 to about 2053. For those who don't understand what Wi-Fi Man's talking about, the grand solar minimum that we're going into right now is going to be much cooler. So the push for geoengineering that's happening to start in 2030 small and go to full-scale deployment by 2035 coincides with a time when the sun will be putting out less energy, will have less sunspots, which means a weakened ionosphere, which means more galactic cosmic ray penetration, which means big changes and cooling. How big, how cool, nobody really knows. But it definitely won't be, my personal prediction, everybody can fact check this video when it happens. I'll be right. I'm pretty sure on this. It won't be as bad as that. I'm not going to doom you to death. I'm not a doomer. I will let you know when it's safe to doom. Okay. I hope for the best. I expect the worst. I am a critical realist. So I'm not going to oversell it and tell you, nah, man, there's nothing to worry about at all. Just go about doing your day. But at the same time, be a little concerned. So yes, we put this in the EPA petition, and specifically because of what these people are planning. So what we're asking the EPA to do, hey Baker, you look great, Jim. Thank you. I've been working out since February. My wife and my daughters, we've all been going to the gym. We've been hitting the gym, going to MMA, all that. The guns are back. I'm feeling pretty strong. For those who don't know, I had thyroid disease and had my thyroid removed. I look like Skeletor. Go back and watch some of my old videos. I look like crap. But thank you for noticing. And I intend to get healthier, so that I can age like Benjamin Button and, keep keep doing this for a very long time, as opposed to those who are filled with fear and pushing fear and grief and doom on all those in the world, and they just start to look like Emperor Palpatine. I really hate to see it. Like, get your stuff together, dude. You're falling apart. Anyway, the cooling fallacy fails. The Clean Air Act provides no exception for pollutants with perceived beneficial effects. Petitioners request the EPA take regulatory action consistent with the agency's statutory obligations under the Clean Air Act to reduce the formation of aviation-induced cloudiness and persistent contrails, regardless of asserted thermal impacts, e.g., cooling contrails. What are we saying there? We're saying specifically, I don't give a damn if you think the clouds you're making are cooling or warming the planet. We want you to do contrail avoidance and not make freaking clouds at all. Why? Because you say you want more clouds. You want less warming, more cooling clouds. You want to have more contrail-induced cirrus clouds during the day and none during the night. That's a problem. That's a big freaking problem. When you're talking about intentionally flying into ice supersaturated regions to intentionally create cooling contrails, is this split over forming cooling contrails? Is this geoengineering? Yes, it's geoengineering. It is geoengineering. That's why it's in there. I hope that everybody will go to American Clean Air Coalition and read it. Take the time. I know it's tough. Read the damn petition. And once you do, scroll down here and sign the petition. Sign it so that we can, push the EPA to get off their ass and do something about this. They are required by law to do something about this. If they don't, we're going to sue them. I mean, so I'm just being real with you. That is the plan right now. They don't get their feces consolidated and do something about this geoengineering with contrails and putting sulfur into the stratosphere and all that. We're going to sue the hell out of them. And that's why we're asking for three things. We're asking them to reduce jet fuel sulfur emissions, which are doing stratospheric aerosol injection. They're putting millions of pounds of sulfur into the stratosphere every single year. Mandatory contrail avoidance. They do with weather and turbulence avoidance. You don't want to be flying in a plane and all of a sudden start bumping up and hitting the roof. So what do? They tell the pilot, hey, there's turbulence ahead. Fly above that. Fly below that. You don't want to fly through that. You don't want a bumpy ride, do you? The same is true with making contrails that turn into cirrus clouds. You don't want them. We don't want them. The whole damn world doesn't want them. We've made it clear. This Operation Blue Skies, just the title itself is a slap in the face. So Pooja, Hazelhurst, and I'm not even try. I'm Southern, man. I'm from Sumter, South Carolina. I can't pronounce that crap. Whatever your names are, wherever you're from, I'm offended. I'm offended on behalf of my viewers, my followers. We're collectively offended. And when I get pissed off, I tend to start cursing and saying things that I regret. So I'm gonna try to chill out here and just leave it at this. Operation Blue Skies, my big old butt. This is not about blue skies. Is it about testing the ability to not create contrails? Yes. Is it proving that it can be done? It's already been proven it can be done. Otherwise, we wouldn't be asking the damn EPA to make it law. Mandatory contrail avoidance. These are the three things. Regulatory actions requested, reduce jet sulfur emissions, mandatory contrail avoidance, and limitations on operational practices that intentionally promote contrail formation for atmospheric or radiative effects. This is sciencey AF the way it's written. It is written specifically for lawmakers and scientists in words they understand, and so that it cannot be debunked in any way, shape, or form. the amount of effort that went into crafting the language in this petition is just astronomical. But I'll keep it simple for you. We don't give a damn about you trying to get rid of the warming contrails. Good on you. Get rid of those. While you're at it, why don't you get rid of all contrails? Not the short ones we can deal with. They'll disappear. As long as they dissipate, we're cool. You know what? I'll pretend it's a non-issue. But if your planes are making clouds and they are fanning out and making cirrus clouds and blocking the sun, damn it, avoid those two. That's what we're asking. And then we'll really have an Operation Blue Sky. That is all. And all of the references from the video today will be provided on climateviewer.news. I hope that you guys will go over there and subscribe. This is my Substack. Got some great stuff over there right now. Previous video I just made, you're watching the wrong altitude. Learn about the contrail formation. Web Daily just hit me with a super chat, $25. Man, I haven't had a super chat in half a year. God bless you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. All proceeds are going to building my studio. I just had a Michael Hogan, brother from another mother. He just made a donation to help me out with the studio. We're working on it right now. I may be out of this bedroom soon. When that happens, dude, I'm coming home. I'm taking off the sheriff's vest, the bulletproof vest. I'm diving in there and I'm going to rock out some really quick videos. I want to get to where I can, do probably like 10-minute videos and just do like 20 of the damn things. Because if you guys knew what I had on a daily basis for stuff I could cover, it would blow your freaking mind. But God bless you, Web Debbly. I like it. Pretty cool. I was just recently on did an interview with Mike Adams on Decentralized TV. That was pretty epic. Articles about, the EPA petition and, how that works. Our big, coming out party for when we actually launch the thing. This was on May 2nd. Artificial sunlight, after dark, reflect orbital. Oh, back then, this was February 22nd when I was telling everybody, hey, you should go be part of this petition process and tell them you don't want space mirrors to reflect sunlight in the dark. And guess what? Nobody really paid attention and it just got passed. So guess what? They're going to be launching 50,000. They've got permission basically to launch 50,000 mirrors in space to reflect sunlight down. Reflect orbital. Look it up. And then, stuff like DoD-linked AI startup to control hurricanes like ALS Labs. The thing about climateviewer.news, the thing about what I do that's unique from everybody else on the internet is I work my ass off to bring you the addresses, the names, the dates, the what, where, when, why, and how. And then I give you those receipts so that you can go verify them yourself. Hey, it's pretty unique. It's a thankless job. God bless everybody who supports me. I really appreciate it. If you want to support me, you can go over to connect.climateviewer.com. That's where all of my websites are, except for Chemtrail Facts. I need to add it to the page, and I will. And too many things, not enough time. Love you, mean it. Go to connect.climateviewer.com. Check out my website. Subscribe to my Substack at the Climate Viewer Report. Join our Telegram chat. And down at the bottom of the page is, my social medias, my Rumble, my YouTube, my X account, and ways to donate. You can become a paid subscriber on Substack. You can join my Patreon or buy me a coffee or give, send, go. Any way you do it, I greatly appreciate it. And I say, God bless you for doing it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it. Just hit the subscribe button. It's free. If you're not subscribing on YouTube, subscribe on Rumble. Both are at Climate Viewer. It's very easy. Follow me on X. That's where I do all of my harassing and a little bit of trolling. But I'm being much better about that lately. And all of my articles will come to your inbox in your email if you subscribe at climateviewer.news. It is absolutely free. If you're feeling froggy and you want to support this old guy, you can become a paid subscriber, and I will say thank you very much for that. Thank you to everybody who's stuck around to the end of the video. You matter, because you're the people who are so interested in this that you're going to educate others. Please use this information to attack ideas, not people. Sharing is caring. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you think. Should we harass them into changing it from Operation Blue Skies to Operation Cool Skies or something like that? I'm offended. I'm still pissed. I'm gonna go walk it off. I love you guys. I'll catch you on the next one. If this video resonates with you, leave me a comment, because I love hearing from y'all. First time here, be sure to subscribe and click the bell. Yeah! Remember, it would be impossible for me to do this without your support, so please join my Patreon or buy me a coffee on PayPal. And always, attack ideas, not people.